Okay, so today we're going to Domino Effect 19, the University of Washington's campus, play a little bit of Smash tournament. So I'm going to take my camera with me and we'll see what happens.
And what happened was some of my new gear that I had really wanted to test out didn't work exactly the way I was expecting it to, and I needed to tweak some settings more before I did a real live test in the world. But I still wanted to tell a story about what the day was like and what happened. It was still a really fun time, and I want to show off some of the things from the event and, you know, at least give some portrait of what the event was like, since there was no Melee stream, which was why I wanted to bring my camera.
He hates it. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
And I was re-recording my intro because I hadn't turned on my external microphone, which was one of the new pieces of gear I wanted to test. And unfortunately, the audio, something isn't set right, so I'm not going to be using that for most of this and just using the on-camera mics. But with that in mind, we were kind of finally ready to head out, and so I headed down the stairs in my apartment and met up with my friends who were pretty much right there.
We're vlog boys now. Wow, look at this timing. Right on cue. Oh, we ready?
Yeah, you already recording?
Oh, I'm already recording.
And telling your friends that you're already recording is a bit like telling them you've got a loaded gun pointed at them. So I mostly just tried to film outside the window and see if I could catch anything interesting, like the subway next to the joint, which sells exactly what you'd expect it to sell. And I was supposed to be directing, but I got us a little lost, but it was pretty, at least. And we eventually made it to the venue, and we weren't really late or anything like that. And we had to conquer the day's first challenge, which was these out of order, small, and numerous escalators. Just when you thought you had conquered it, there was always another escalator for you to walk up. Having conquered the 3 escalators, we walked into the venue and talked about Nick's first tournament experience. It was really exciting to take someone to their first tournament. It's not something that you get to do all the time, and I was really hoping that it was going to go well. So we checked in and walked into the venue.
Wow. Whoa. Have you ever seen so many monitors before in your life?
I've actually never seen a monitor period.
When we got to the venue, I found out that I hadn't responded to a link my friend Ben had sent me to register for his doubles team. So we weren't actually registered for Melee doubles. But I was planning on watching them play Ultimate doubles anyway, so I got a nice spot and tried to get some artsy shots of them playing in their match. It was 2-0, which isn't super surprising for someone's first tournament, but I was glad that I was able to at least get some footage while the venue wasn't super crowded. It was kind of hard though, because so many people were walking between rows to really get good shots, or at least not feel like I was in the way. And my friends got really unlucky, and they played the eventual winners of the doubles tournament in their first round of losers, which is not very common. Afterwards, I filmed a little bit of Commaster and Bladewise playing doubles versus some people I hadn't heard of before. Commaster and Bladewise are some of the best players here at the tournament, and I was really glad I got to get this shot. It felt, I don't know, very symmetrical, and I really liked it. But I was starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed with my ability. I didn't feel like I really knew what I was doing, and like I had brought a camera and people expected me to know how to use it. So I set it up on my tripod and tried to play some friendlies against someone. And it worked okay, but when I tried to do the same thing for my first round pools match, which was accidentally scheduled a bit early, I fist bumped my opponent, started playing the game, and realized that since I wasn't standing behind the camera, no one knew that it was filming me. So this guy in a pink shirt just walked in front and blocked the shot for most of the match. Thankfully, people got out of the way, and so I was able to get some footage of me talking to my opponent after the match, who was playing on a Frame 1 controller, which I had never played against someone using a rectangle controller before, which was kind of interesting. My friend Ben and I watched our friend Nick play his first singles match, and to our surprise, he actually won his first game, which is pretty rare for someone at their first tournament. Unfortunately, it went to Game 3, but he wasn't able to pull out the actual victory. But it still looked like he was pretty happy, and I was just glad that he was having a good time. At this point, I started taking photos because I felt like it was really hard to get good video. So this is my friend Ryan playing against Vincessant in pools. We were running against the clock for the second round of pools, and we would need to get lunch, so we walked through UW's campus to get some food. And on the way, we saw these people trying to put their foot on walls. We kept walking to the Burke Museum to go to the On the Res Cafe in the museum's bottom floor. And we got some Indian tacos and decided to eat them at this cool little bar that looked over the Burke Museum parking lot. We played some board games and ate our tacos before heading back to the venue. And during some of my losers bracket matches, I asked Nick to film me, but I didn't really give him any direction at all. So he filmed the game, which makes a lot of sense in hindsight, but wasn't necessarily what I had intended. So it's mostly just my shoulder, but at least he was able to capture one of the 2 sets that I won that day. And I was a little bit ready to go home at this point and feeling a little bit disenfranchised with my own ability. So I decided to try to take some photos outside with my friends. And there was this one spot that I thought would look really cool with the football stadium in the background, but they didn't really think it was that cool. They still managed to take some cute photos anyway, though. And I asked them to take some photos of me, which they didn't do the best job at. But eventually, they got there. And after we took a photo of all of us together, I was about to leave, but this guy on the right asked me if he could take some photos with his friends. His friend was actually the pink shirt guy who blocked my shot earlier in the day, but I didn't really care about that at all. I was just happy that they seemed happy to have some photos. The guy on the right really mentioned that they go to tournaments all the time and never really have any photos together, so it was really nice having some good photos of them having fun together. It made me really reconsider how I was feeling about bringing my camera around, and that even though I wasn't maybe what I wanted, I was still able to make a difference for someone else and make them have something that they can look back on to remember the day really positively. I know that there will be many more events in the future, and I'll get better each time, so I'm just looking forward to the next time that I can go out and being a bit more prepared for some of the challenges that being a videographer and photographer can throw at you. This was Seth Loves to Talk. Thanks for listening.